All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. Today is Saturday, August 9th, 2025, and we are going to dive into early loss information. So before we begin, I want to share an important disclaimer. Also, you see me linking to the side. I'm working with two screens right now. The protocol offers information based on personal experiences only. So the interprofessional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have any concerns, please consult your physician or healthcare provider. We are not medical professionals and we make no guarantees. So if you have a medical issue that needs attention or that you're curious about, we're always going to refer you back to your doctor or healthcare provider. Also send this recording out so you'll have access to slides. Real quick about me, my name is Deanna Howlett, and like I was working full time in a demanding job, long hours, evening, weekends, constant emails before sunrise and before bedtime, constant travel to different work locations. So it wasn't, no day was consistent, I'll say that. On top of that, I'm a full time single mom, 365 days a year with very little outside support. My community as a single mom is DoorDash and grocery delivery, like most of us. I also juggle other investment vehicles. I'm a DLTC trader. I do real estate and stuff like that. So with such a full plate, just kind of going to the gym was unrealistic. And I thought results required daily workouts. So I just kind of felt stuck. Um, Another thing I struggled with is that I'm also a nighttime eater, which stems from stress, which just kind of made things hard. So when I saw my mentors post about the protocol, I was skeptical. I had tried expensive gym memberships before, and people will say, "Oh, Planet Fitness is $20," but I need a place with childcare, and so without the childcare or the time to go consistently, it just ended up never really working out for me. So I decided to try the protocol, which is interesting because they say we need to see in order to believe. And still, I saw people doing the protocol and somehow was still skeptical, which is just not logical at all. But I decided to make the first step and go into the protocol, and I lost over 50 pounds in less than 3 months. People who taught me this, they could have kept their knowledge to themselves, but they chose to share it. And because they paid it forward, I was able to change my life. And now I'm here for you. So let's talk a little bit about the protocol. The protocol was created by Mr. James Tompkins, affectionately known as Mr. T. He was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and the whole shebang. So he told his doctors that he'd be back in a few months with all of those issues reversed. His doctor's like, yeah, all right, cool, all right. So he returned just about 4 months later, and he had lost over 100 pounds. So when he had walked into the doctor the first time, he was diagnosed with all this stuff. He was pushing like 300 pounds, and he came back over 100 pounds lighter. His diabetes, according to his A1C, his diabetes had been reversed. Fatty liver disease was gone, and his cholesterol had normalized. Doing all of this in his late 50s. So that transformation inspired others to try his system. Over time, the protocol has helped people reverse health issues, lose significant amounts of weight, and keep that weight off. So before the protocol, I had, there's another term, Mr. T. So before the protocol, I had plantar fasciitis. So if you don't know, that's a foot issue usually that elderly people have. And so I had it so severe that I needed special shoes just to walk. But then even when I had my shoes, I still had to roll my feet on like tennis balls and cans and stuff. I also had back problems, infertility struggles, and constant fatigue. And so when I reached a healthy weight, my foot pain disappeared. The plantar fasciitis, they never told me it was related to weight, which is interesting because it was. My foot literally, the arch in my foot literally the arch could not support my weight. And so my foot pain completely disappeared. The plantar fasciitis went away. My energy returned. And I finally understood how much my weight had been affecting literally every part of my life. So obesity can contribute to dozens of conditions, from joint pain to high blood pressure, diabetes, and even mental health challenges. The good news is that many of these can improve or even disappear when you address the root cause. So let's jump into some success stories, because it's just about me. There are so many incredible success stories out there. So this is Mrs. Nakia. She lost over 150 pounds. Miss LaMonica Sharp. And so you'll see some before and after pictures here. Miss LaMonica Sharp and her husband, Albert Sharp, collectively lost over 100 pounds together. With them, with a few other people in here, Miss Brandy. Many of these people I know, so I'm like so proud, because most of us, we're parents. Like there's that, like, a lot of the reasons that I had thought I couldn't do this, I literally relate to all the people in the protocol, and then I realized, hey, they did this. I can absolutely do this. Miss Tiffany, so her 4 pictures on the right and her afters on the left. And then last but not least, my personal mentor, Mrs. Karen, she lost over 75 pounds. And, if not for Mr. T and Mrs. Karen, those were really my mentors who made me believe like I could, they could do this. So why the protocol? So what makes the protocol so different? I know a lot of people in the form that you filled out had tried weight loss programs in the past. So this is going to be interesting. So with the protocol, there's no dieting pills, no shakes, no teas, no supplements, so that means no appetite suppressants or anything, right? Like actually using those would actually go against the protocol system. There are no long hours required in the gym. As a matter of fact, we recommend no strenuous exercise during the first phase of the program. And if you eat real food that you already enjoy, if you decide to join the protocol, I'm going to talk about some of the foods I ate, especially McDonald's. But, we'll talk about that as we get into that. So the protocol is also very flexible for all types of lifestyles, even night shift workers, So you're going to have an accountability partner, one-on-one accountability with me, and we're going to set some clear, achievable wellness goals together. I also will have a mini series on a variety of different wellness topics, such as nighttime eating, social events, eating while grieving. If you know me personally, I think everyone on this call right now knows me personally. I've had some personal losses in my family recently, but also with my infertility struggles, grief comes in a variety of different ways, and I'd like to talk about eating while grieving and making sure we're staying on our goals. Gut health, relationships, and food. How does it look like when we talk to our children and our family members about this? How does it look like to date? What does it look like with our romantic partners, right? So that's that. So the protocol is a 4-phase approach, and those 4 phases are designed to support your lifelong transformation. So the first 3 phases are focused on losing the weight. You're probably familiar with sometimes you hit plateaus. The 4 phases, but the 3 phases are specifically designed to make sure that we break through those plateaus. Phase 4 is designed to make sure you keep weight off in a healthy way. So yeah, this is not a multi-level marketing program, so there's no need or requirement for you to share your story or refer others. That's completely up to you. Now, I will offer a financial incentive or bonus, like a referral bonus for you to do referrals, but that is 100% optional. I decided to offer that because I know there's some real opportunists, not in a bad way, but there's some folks that would really like to take the opportunity to share with other people. And I think it's important to do that, because had people not shared with me and they just took the knowledge and was like, oh, well, I'm good, I'm not going to help anyone else. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I think it's important to share. Something I did not put on this that I should for my next information session is that something very unique with the protocol is that once you have the knowledge, no one can take that away from you. So once you've gone through the protocol, you know, you do the 3-4 months, right? 5 years from now, something happens, life happens, right? You can always restart the protocol and you don't have to reach out to me. You don't have to reach out to anybody. You don't have to go you already know the protocol. So if I were to compare this to Ozempic or I don't know, appetite suppression pills, I've never tried those things, but I know a select few people who have tried it and had crazy situations with them. But let's say they lose their weight and something happens in life a few years later down the road and they gain some weight, right? Because life happens. um, to then lose that weight again, they then have to go get more Ozempic. Then have to get more of those pills. The protocol is not like that. You have the information, you could use it to your will as you desire. And as a matter of fact, maybe a few years from now, you're like, hey, I do want to share this. I want to teach the protocol, right? I want to be a protocol coach. I'm very happy to work with folks to help bring that into reality. So but otherwise, the protocol, you can activate it literally at any time at your will. So you don't have to come back and talk to anybody or anything like that. Okay, so let's jump into the cost. Like the protocol is broken into 4 phases. Each phase is $199 each. Now, if you looked at this, you were like, oh, I'm ready to go. I don't need any more questions or anything, and you just want to pay for all of the 4 phases at once. There is a discount, so you could pay $699. That's around almost $100 discount. If you were like, hey, I just want to, you have one foot in the door, one foot out, or whatever, right? You just want to do one, or for whatever reason, you just want to do phase one and then do phase two, phase three, you can pay for the phases individually. So the payment link is actually right here, bit.ly/protocol pay. And let's navigate actually to the payment page so you can see what that looks like. So while I'm doing this, does anyone have any questions about anything? You can go through it. I'm just going to check any questions. Or maybe you don't have any questions. When you go to the payment link, this is what it looks like. So you can go ahead and check out here. If you want to do a payment plan, there is an after payment if you want to pay Bitcoin, that's here. There's a way that you want to pay that's not listed on here. Just reach out to me personally, and I could, help make that happen. But let's say on this page, you're like, I just want to do phase one. I'll be honest with you. When I started it, my skepticism was at a point where my logic was not meeting things, and yet still didn't believe from people that you would go down to protocol phase one, that's your card, and you want to remove the full one. Just go ahead and remove that, and you'll continue in process payment just phase one. Make sure you put your name here, so I know before. And even with phase one, the payment options are here. If you wanted to break your payment up, you have to pay. That option is here. I do want to mention something that I'll go into more detail later, but if you know folks that have actually completed the protocol already and they may be interested in the lecture series, each phase is about 1 month long, and I will have a weekly lecture series, so about 4 lectures per phase. They can join the lectures. Obviously don't come back and pay for the protocol again. Like, I'm just going to tell you what you already know, but oh yeah, this I had issues with sleeping and eating, right? It's the same hormone that actually regulates both. You're very welcome to join the lectures. Um, if there are no questions, let me stop sharing my screen. The class starts September 6th, and just make sure, September 6th, yes. And if you're interested, let me know so I can follow up. If you're not interested, that's fine too. I wish you the best. Just let me know so I don't keep checking in with you unnecessarily. So whether you start now, I may have classes in the future. I absolutely have a class starting September 6th. So I hope you take this first step for yourself. If you look at the price and think, I can't do this right now, check the payment plan link. There may be an option that works for you. Overall, I wish you all the best on your journeys, and let's do this together. Are there any questions before I end the meeting? I'm glad we were able to keep this short and sweet. All right. Well, if there are no questions, feel free. Everyone on this call knows how to reach me. I will send the recording out as well as the I'll send the recording out as well as the link to the payment. And enjoy